welcome to my YouTube channel. Back with another one. This is your favorite tutor, Khodiso, and this is Great Minds Tutorials. And in this episode, I'm gonna be doing a simple exercise where I'm gonna be using an array. I'm gonna be picking up this very same array, but then this array, I'm gonna loop through the array, and then I'm gonna determine how many numbers from that array are even numbers, and how many numbers from that array are odd numbers. And then I'm gonna try to also display all of those even numbers and all of those odd numbers. Okay, now just to get straight to it, let us open a new project here. A new project. Java project, and even odd app. Right? Let's wait for it to open up. All right. So when we get here, I'm gonna pick up this array, just copy it from that side. What we were doing in our previous exercise. Right. So all right, once I have this, then I can work on it. Now, I'm gonna have an int, and then I'm gonna have a count, and then a count, I'm gonna start it from 0. That is what I'm gonna be using in order for me to count how many even numbers are there and how many odd numbers are there. So let us count even. Let's just specify that we're gonna count even here. Okay, so now after this, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be needing a for loop for int I is assigned to 0 and I is less than numbers dot length. And then I plus plus. So okay, inside here, I'm gonna be having a for loop. So now, what is the trick about this? Okay, now the other thing that I'm gonna be needing here, I'm gonna need a string. I'm gonna say even numbers, even nums, and then here I'm gonna say odd nums. And then I'm gonna assign both of them to an empty string. Even this one, I'm gonna make it an empty string. That is what I'm gonna be needing. So let me see. Okay, yeah. So immediately after this, I'm gonna have an if statement. So in my if statement, I'm gonna say now if numbers at a specific I when I'm iterating is divisible by a 2 and the remainder is a 0. Okay, this simply means that if a number can be divided by 2 and the remainder is a 0, then that number is an even number. All even numbers are divisible by a 2. If a number cannot be divisible by a 2, it means it's not a even number. So now, once we get to do that, what I want to do is that now, inside here, I want to count. So the count even must then be incremented by 1. But not only that, I want to show the even numbers. So I want to say even nums is assigned to even nums dot concat. Next to it, whatever that I'm going to be having, then I'm going to be adding numbers at I, the specific number. Then next to it, I'm going to be having, let me just separate them with a comma. Then I'm just going to be having a comma. So next time, I'm just going to be putting them next to each other, separated by a comma. So, but let us not even have a comma, because we're going to have a comma at the end. Let's just separate them with an empty space. That should be sufficient. That should be fine. Okay, now, so basically it means that, okay, once I have this, I'm just going to be having an empty space. That should be fine. And then now, if it's not divisible by that, then that simply means that if it's not divisible by that, then I'm going to have an else. If it's not divisible by that, then I'm not going to count it as an even number, but my odd nums, I'm going to add it as an odd number. odd nums dot concat, and then I'm just gonna write numbers at that specific I. And there we have it. All right, so immediately after this, when I'm done with my follow-up, then I'm going to be having all the even numbers. I'm going to be having all of my odd numbers. Now I want to display everything. So to display everything, then I'm just going to get here. I'm going to say system.out the print line. I'm going to say there are even nums. Count. Almost made a mistake. Count numbers. There are even numbers. But yeah, I made a mistake. It's count even. I've labeled it as that. And system that I want to show those even numbers. So the even numbers are. Then I list them. So I'm going to say even what? Nums. So yeah, for the odd numbers, and then I'm going to say there are, then to get the odd numbers. So if I've already have the count, I know that the count in here, maybe let's say it's 4. If I take the whole length of this array, I minus a 4. The rest should be even numbers. I mean, should be odd numbers. So for me to get that, I need to say numbers dot length. No, not to string dot length minus count. I'm minusing whatever even number that I'm already count even, and then inside here odd numbers. System.out dot print line the odd numbers are, so here I say odd nums, and that should be sufficient. But before we go there, let us have a new line here, and let us also have a new line here. I'm just trying to figure out, okay, I just need to put this inside brackets like that. That should be fine. And then I want to display the whole thing. I want to say the array is, the numbers are, so that we can be able to see those numbers. And then here I'm going to say arrays dot to string numbers. And then up there, I'm going to import times import, and then I'm going to say java the util that arrays. Here is it. There we go. So that should be sufficient. Just quickly go down. Everything should be in order here. It should be able to give us the even numbers and the odd numbers. Okay, now let's run this. And as you check, here are the numbers. The numbers is 8, 11, 25, 78, 2, 45, 24, and 100. Now, it says that there are 5 even numbers. And if you check here, this is an even number, 1, not an even number, not an even number, 2, 3, not an even number, 4, 5. That is correct. There are 5 even numbers. And as you can see, those are the even numbers. 8, 78 is an even number, it can be divided by 2. 2 is an even number, it can be divided by 2. 24 is an even number, it can be divided by 2. And 100 is an even number because it can be divided by 2. So now there are 3 odd numbers. The 3 odd numbers is 11, 25, and 45. And it says that there are 3 odd numbers, and the odd numbers are 11, 25, and 45, meaning that our program is working perfectly fine. So that is how you write a simple program that is going to take in an array Then it's going to determine how many even numbers are there and how many odd numbers are there, and also be able to keep track of those even numbers and be able to display them at the end. And that is it from me for this episode. Till the next time I drop, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and also comment, because we use your comments in order for us to get ideas on what we can do as part of our exercises, and then we are going to drop it in the near future. That is it from me. Cheers.